India and the United States, two democracies, two major economies, two global powers. On paper, they'd be natural allies. But peel back the layers and the story feels one-sided. For much of their shared history, the US did not treat India like a friend. It treated India like a problem to be managed or a pawn to be punished. Take the 1971 war or India's nuclear tests. Washington behaved like a bully. That dynamic shifted over the last 2 decades, but with Trump's tariffs and threats, it looks like the bully is back. Our next report tells you more.
India and the United States, it has been complicated. Let's start in the 20th century. The Cold War was in full swing. The world had been divided into neat boxes: NATO versus Warsaw Pact, and capitalism versus communism. Washington had a simple test: pick a side. And India, it refused to play ball. India chose non-alignment. It wanted independence in foreign policy, a rare act of strategic maturity in a bipolar world. But America didn't see maturity. It saw disobedience. And it didn't like it one bit. So it did what it's always done when it doesn't get its way. It punished. The most brazen example was in 1971. Pakistan was committing genocide in what's now Bangladesh. 10 million refugees had poured into India. India stepped in, militarily and decisively. And how did the US respond? With outright opposition. Then, President Richard Nixon doubled down on their alliance with Pakistan. And to top it off, Nixon sent a full-blown naval task force, including the USS Enterprise, into the Bay of Bengal. A show of force meant to rattle New Delhi. Fast forward to 1974, India tests its first nuclear weapon, codenamed Smiling Buddha. And the US frowned hard. Sanctions followed. Technology transfers were blocked. India's space and defense ambitions were frozen. But let's not kid ourselves. This wasn't about non-proliferation. This was about control. Even after the Cold War ended, the distrust lingered. In 1998, India tested another nuke. And again, the sanctions came fast. India was denied loans and foreign aid. Washington's message was clear: how dare you defy us? Things began to change in the 21st century. The Cold War was over. India's economy was liberalizing, and Pakistan's strategic value was beginning to wane. Washington changed its tune. Suddenly, India was a strategic partner. President George W. Bush signed the historic US-India Civil Nuclear Agreement. Trade expanded, tech giants boomed, defense deals flowed. There were summits, handshakes, and even hugs. Obama called the relationship a defining partnership of the 21st century. Trump called Modi a true friend. Biden hailed the Quad. It felt like the page had turned. Yet, here we are again. Trump's new tariffs on Indian goods are just the latest sign that old habits die hard. What sparked them this time? India's reluctance to cut ties with Russia, its refusal to toe Washington's line on Ukraine, its insistence on buying discounted Russian oil. None of that matters. The message from Washington is the same as it was in 1971. Comply or face consequences. So let's call it what it is: the US being a bully. When push comes to shove, Washington often reaches for the stick, not the handshake. And India remembers this. After all, history doesn't lie. The India-US relationship has always had two versions. One, told in speeches and grand messages, and the other, lived through consequences. India has seen both, and it knows which one lasts longer.